Shalom, shalom. This is Kaparia, aka Pops, out of GMS Chicago, with a brief sit down. Well, I hope it's short anyway. But before I get started, though, like always, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakodash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, traveling apostles such as Apostle Rakan and Ramlab, traveling dignitaries such as Elder Big Gad, just to name one of few. Uh, Send double honors because they do rule well. For the brethren around the world, push this truth uncut, unfiltered, giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly of the scriptures, correctly breaking down the prophecies and the interaction with the people of the planet. Um, um, Throwing the gauntlet down, as they say. Send salutations for the hopeful elect. I hope this is edifying. For the Aquat, the few and the true that's listening sincerely, charity, keep doing so. But for the squander, scoffing, reprobate, two-third Israelites, and 17 other nations who are in the midst of Jacob's trouble is going to get a whole lot worse. Anyway, this guy is being interviewed by Vlad, which is one of the anti-Semitics, or whatever the case might be. And the reason I call him that is because if you know anything about scriptures, you go into Genesis, the 25th chapter. They both came out of the same womb at the same time, and it was declared to Rebekah that as they came out, that the elder shall serve the younger. Okay, so um, if we're called anti-Semitic, then they got to be anti-Semitic too, because we came from the same mother and father at the same time and whatnot, as lineage goes. You know, one wind up going into that of the Israelites, and the other going into that of the Edomites. Okay, so if we anti-Semitic, if we're anti-Semitic, they're anti-Semitic too. Okay, and it's uh, uh, Shemitic, not Semitic, because it's from the line of Shem to begin with. All right, so I'm gonna let this play. Then I'm gonna throw some scriptures on it or whatever the case might be, because I don't want to talk too much. But I want you to listen. And the guy that's interviewing is Vlad, and he's one of them Edomites, as it's that's spoken of. Okay.
You moved 6 of your friends from back home to Atlanta?
I didn't move when we all left together.
But you were supporting them financially.
We supported one another. I mean, millions of dollars, I don't know what you call it. I never felt like I supported anybody. I gave. I was a real, genuine person with my money, and we all struggled together.
Okay, see that? See that? Off top. Let me show you what, as the scripture says, having an unction. Okay, we do things that's in our spirit that the Lord actually says should be done. I'm gonna go to this scripture here and do this, because see, this guy wouldn't know nothing about that. The guy that's interviewing him knows nothing about this. He says supporting. Let's go here. Let's see if it's gonna come up. Am I in the right? No, I'm not there. I want to go here. And I'm gonna pull some scriptures out of that, but I want to go here first. Let me pull this down. Chapter 14. Where I want to go to. Start at 13. Let me go down here. All right. Do good unto thy friend before thou die, and according to thy ability, stretch out thy hand and give to him. Okay? Defraud not thyself of the good day, and let not the part of a good desire overpass thee. He said he didn't feel like he did any of that. We went through good times and bad times together. I can honestly say, like I said, I had pro dreams and whatnot, as far as that, because I came out of high school at 18 years old, benching 300 pounds. So yeah, and running about I say 4.6, 4.5, 4.6, 40. So yeah, I had aspirations of wanting to play pro ball, okay, and this, that, and the other. And I had two guys that I grew up with that, uh, like I said, until I came into the truth, were near and dear to me. But as the scripture says, who is my mother and who is my brother? Those that do the work of the Lord, as Yahweh Shai stretched out his hands. Who is my mother and who is my brother? Those stretched out his hands and said, those that do the work is my mother and my brother. Okay? But before that, like I said, I had two guys that I knew ever since sixth grade, young adults. We had never did anything detrimental to each other and this, that, and other. And if I had actually gotten to the pros, these were two guys that absolutely had to come out with me. It was a TV program called Entourage before and whatnot. I don't know if y'all remember it or not, but like I said, long story short, there was two close friends of mine that if I would have actually played pro ball or made it to pro ball, these two guys would have absolutely had to go with me to wherever my first contract was at. Okay, just automatic. You know, the cliche saying of mine was, "If I shine, you shine." Okay, so that was that. But that was this, and I didn't have this scripture in my repertoire at that time. Okay, so let's go back to what he was saying.
Um, person with my money, and we all struggled together. We fought together. We laughed together. We cried together. We lost friends together. Man, we just tried to be just like any other group of friends, close knit, stick together. You got a crew. You got a crew.
But I don't financially support it.
Yeah, well,
You see what he said? You hear what the guy said? That's the Edomite in the background that's doing the interview. That's flat. He said, you got a crew, you got a crew, you got a crew. He said, yeah, but I don't financially support them because that's that Edomite's nature. So now I'm going to go back to that chapter and I'm going to start reading so you can hear what's going on. Because I'm going to break this down a little bit at a time and whatnot as I read through this scripture that is so prevalent. Okay, now let's go back here. And now let's go all the way up to 3, and we go read ourselves through it from where do I want to start at? Where am I going to go through? I'm going to read 14. I'm going to read this 14th chapter, 3 to verse 9 or so, maybe even a little bit more. Okay. Ecclesiastes is the book of Sirach, 14, starting at 3. Riches are not comely for a niggard. And what should an envious man do with money? What will an envious man do with money? He'll hoard it. Perfect example, the Rothschild family, okay? Being who they are and what they are. At one point in time, you used to be able to look them up and see them actually worth $700 trillion. You can't do that now, but they own the Federal Reserve and the International Monetary Fund. They got you looking at it as governmental and worldly entities when in actuality they privately own, okay? And they hoard it up for themselves. And because order out of chaos, which is on your dollar bill, the American dollar bill, uh, uh, um, the Novus Sclerosis, let our what is that? Let our endeavors uh, be prosperous or something of that nature. Their endeavor is to crash this dollar, and this is what they're working on. So even though they had enough money to reset all of the governments of the world and still be top dog, they choose not to. So now so it says, what should an envious man do with money? For he gathereth by defrauding his own soul, gathereth for others that shall spend his goods riotously. And who is that? That's going to be the Israelites because, like I said, he ain't going to be able to take none of this. When Yahweh Shai comes back, everything that he thinks he's got stored up is going to be stripped of him. Okay? Period. 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. So I'm saying he can't take pleasure in his goods. Matter of fact, let me go get another scripture right here, because 5 and 6, there is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is the recompense of his wickedness. What is the recompense of his wickedness? Let me go to Micah here. Micah 2. Am I gonna start at 2? No, start at 1. Woe to the Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. They can't even go get a good night's sleep without trying to figure out first how to fuck over the Israelites. Okay. See, because basically you got a good guy and a bad guy in this biblical history, which is called the Bible, which is of history and prophecy. So it tells the past and it predicts the future all at the same time. Okay, it's always been that book, always have been that book, always will be that book, and whatnot. And see, as this book goes, because other chapters of it is actually being written now about the men that are doing this work right now and the things that they're going through, that's going to be part of the new. But right now, what's being laid out now is the fulfillment of what was written in this book. Okay, so with that being the case, this is what we see happening. And these men that can come into the scriptures, primarily men of GMS and like-minded affiliates that take this work seriously, and and even when they're not on point, their mind is even beating them up for not being on point. It tortures them that they're not absolutely on point, and this, that, and other. And I'm saying that, speaking of myself, first and foremost. Okay, when I'm not getting a chance to do all the things I know I need to be doing in the manner that I need to be doing, it's a fucking it fucks with me on levels. It makes me get back to it, and as it says, seek them 10 times harder. Okay, so anyway, let's get here. And they that cover fields and take them, okay, practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Let me read it again. Let me start from 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. As they say, the pen is mightier than the sword. They lay on their bed, they figure out ways to fucking write unrighteous decrees and laws and all this other kind of shit. And then they wake up in the morning and put it in the law. And this, that, and other. Like this bill now has got it where you can't speak out against a certain group of people. Why? Because of the fact that they control all the media outlets and things in the first place. Okay, on the diamond districts, basically on manufacturing. When manufacturing started being manufacturing, going all the way back to the 1900s and whatnot, as they say, the 20th century, and the revolution of machinery. Okay, and had a part in that, and wound up being the investors in the ground floors of a lot of these fucking companies that run shit now. Okay. So now, um, so now let me go back to where I was at. Now, hold on. Let me go back here to Sirach, the 14th chapter. So I was gonna read it through 9. So what was that about 4? So okay. Picking up at verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? So this man is evil to himself, and what I mean by that, you got these 1%ers, these so-called these Rothschilds, Oppenheimer, Bilderberg, DuPonts, and Gettys and whatnot. They evil to the people of their own lineage. Okay, you got these other Edomites here in America and worldwide and whatnot, they're suffering. Ukraine and all this other kind of stuff. They even toward their own kind. So it says, if he doeth good, okay, okay, and if he doeth good, he doeth unwillingly. Hold on. First 5. If he is evil unto himself. So he's evil unto his own people. To whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. Like I said, they lose sleep. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. Okay, he can't even enjoy the fruits of his labor. He can wallow in it, but he can't enjoy it. It's almost like Scrooge McDuck, how he could dive in and do all this other kind of stuff in the motherfucking pots of gold and whatnot, but he was always worried about if he's got enough, okay? Um, Verse 8, the envious man hath a wicked eye. He turneth away his face and despiseth men. You hear Vlad? You heard what Vlad said? I didn't take care of them. But Vic said these was his friends. These are who he grew up with. But Vlad, in his own words, said he doesn't take care of them. So listen to what's being said here. And this is a Israelite and an Edomite having a discussion. Okay? Verse 9. A covetous man is not satisfied with his portion. See that? A covetous man is not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul, because he doesn't even know how to have compassion for people. It's not in him. It's not fucking in him. Period. Okay? Okay? So now let's go ahead on and go back to this and let this play through.
Well, I mean, back you was 20 years old, it might have been different. It's like walking in that back room and you broke, and you find $20 million, and they was outside. You ain't gonna give them nothing. You're not gonna give them a dime. You got a kids, and he trying to get an apartment. You're not gonna help him, and you got a pocket full of money.
It's a tough situation.
No, it's not a tough situation. I don't think it's a tough situation.
See what he say? It's not a tough situation. And what you hear Vlad say, I've dealt with it. But he didn't say that it's something that he would do. He said, I've dealt with it. I've had people, I've got money, and I've had people that was close to me come at me. But I didn't deal with it like that. See, let's run it again. Let it run all the way through again.
Supporting them financially.
We supported one another. I mean, got millions of dollars. I don't know what you call it. I never felt like I supported anybody. I gave. I was a real, genuine person with my money, and we all struggled together. We fought together. We laughed together. We cried together. We lost friends together. Man, we just tried to be just like any other group of friends, close knit, stick together. You got a crew.
But I don't financially support it.
Yeah, well, I mean, back you was 20 years old, it might have been different. It's like walking in that back room and you broke, and you find $20 million, and they was outside. You ain't gonna give them nothing. You're not gonna give them a dime. You got a kids, and he trying to get an apartment. You're not gonna help him, and you got a pocket full of money.
It's a tough situation.
No, it's not a tough situation. I don't think it's a tough situation.
You move.
Bingo. You hear that? Not a tough situation. Not for him. But it's a tough situation when a covetous man wants to hoard everything for himself and don't know how to share and don't want to share. Period. Let's go to the comment board real quick. Red Breed, humble hood guy. Salute Mr. Vic. Vlad sounds like a very selfish person. Exactly. This is why even though he lost everything, he gained it back even more. Some people worship money and hoard it. Oops, damn, who's that? I think that was one of the Rothschilds that said, I don't care who runs the country. If I own his finances and whatnot, I don't care who runs the country. Damn, look that up and see who it was that said that, huh? Some people worship money and hoard it. Others see it as a tool and use it to bless others because they've been blessed with it. Neither will ever understand the other. Now we understand. See, and that's the beauty of these scriptures. We get to know who was designed to be who. Okay, we know who was designed to be who. Matter of fact, let me get this. Is that Romans? Let me get this Romans. Okay, and yeah, so like I said, back to what I was getting ready to say. I was getting ready to get the scripture and whatnot because like I read in the thing, and the one won't understand the other. So let's go and get the scripture that shows what that's all about in the first place. Okay, let's go and get the scripture that does that. I think that was the Romans I was getting ready to go get. Let me see. Let me go get the Romans. Is that Romans? Let me see. Is that Romans 9? Let me see. Put it in about the 19th and see what it's going to tell me. Yeah, Romans 9 and 19. That was, start 18. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he hardeneth. Okay. Now, actually, I'm going to start up here. Let me go and, I'm going to start up here. 13, Romans 9 and 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So y'all got to understand that the Lord can love somebody and he can hate somebody. So I don't know why y'all want to put him in this category and this confinement that he can only have one emotion or one feeling, and it's that of love and not have the hatred. Like I said, y'all forget this is the same God that got pissed off and flooded the whole motherfucking planet except for 8 people. Okay, and the animals that he had come upon the ark. So I don't know how y'all can paint him in the box when he painted the rainbow itself. What the fuck y'all doing? What the fuck y'all thinking? Okay, but so now let me read this. Verse 13. Oh, actually, I'm gonna break down what I said about Rebecca and this that and other. Since I'm here, I'm going on to read 10. And not only this, but Rebecca also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children not yet being born, neither having done good nor evil, that the purpose of Yahweh according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the eldest shall serve the younger. Okay, so Rebecca was told in before these boys was even born who go wind up serving who in the end. And see, we in the last kingdom right now before Yahweh Shai comes back. So this was said we in the end of this right now. Okay. and the basis of men is the basis and the violence of men is in rulership now. So this is the absolute end, and that's what you see this earth plummeting into even as we speak. The wickedness and the vileness of this man, the debauchery and everything else that's going on to it. Okay. Um, it is said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh? God forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Yahweh power that showeth mercy. For the scripture says unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Okay, so when Yahweh flooded the planet, okay, his name was declared, and the rainbow was his trademark in the process of. Okay, well, this time around, Yahweh Shah is coming back to put his claim on it. And what's going to be one of the markings of it? All of America, from the north to the south, from the east to the west, is going to be turned into a fucking desert via thermonuclear missiles. Okay, so that's gonna be his marking. That in Isaiah the 14th chapter, they should look down and look at thee and say, "Is this the man?" The whole world's gonna look at this motherfucker and be like, "This motherfucker was this motherfucker. This guy that fucked up like this." Okay, so here we go. For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore, he that has mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he hardeneth, he will harden it. Thou wilt say then unto me, what doth he find fault? For who has resisted his will? Neighbor, old man, who art thou that replies to God? Shall the thing formed to him that formed it say, Why hast thou made me thus? Hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump? Like I said, they came out together to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor. Verse 22, what if God willing to show his wrath and to make his power known and do it with much long suffering, the vessels fitted for destruction. So these Edomites that are in play right now that think that runs the planet as it is, or think that they're gonna be able to do that forever, don't have a clue. But what Mike Vick did, even though he's a wicked individual as well, has compassion, which is an Israelite trait. Okay? Is an Israelite trait. Okay, and George Carlin, a famous comedian years ago, said, "You can't look at the Negro in America and not understand how cool they are. Who else could you have taken and put under the affliction and the restrictions and the frustration and the slavery that they have, and they have not lost their minds and went off on this country in whatever form? But it wasn't meant for us to go off in that time. That time is coming with the 144,000, Jeremiah 16:16, and verses such as that. So, like I said, I'm gonna leave it there with that and get y'all to understand that as part of the hopeful elect, the shit we seeing, and these people are showing you in just little things that they hold true to the conversations and the decrees that's been laid out per Yahweh Shai since the beginning. So with that, I hope that that's edifying. I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kodash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York. I send double honors because they do rule well. For the brethren around the world, pushing truth uncut, unfiltered, giving you good, bad, and ugly. A hearty shalom, shalom, and for the hopeful elect, just hold on. And for the rest of the world, a bar.